ice cream. They have a Kroger store and she's not utilizing it. Oh my gosh, my heart hurts. If you don't want to take away your husband's chips, I know how some people would react if I tried to take their chips away. I am pretty confident in one thing in my life, and that's the fact that I can help people lower their grocery budget with just a few tweaks. So today, I wanted to share with you an amazing submission by one of my viewers, Siel. She has kind of a unique situation. I think you are going to love this girl. She is the absolute cutest. And as I'm going through her grocery shopping and what she spent, I noticed some key points that I think you guys are really gonna like. So if you are ready for another Christine knocks cookies out of your hand,
you knocked that last one out of my hand, remember?
Type of grocery shopping assist / reaction, hook me up with a thumbs up, subscribe if you wanna see more content like this. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Cole.
I'm Siel.
Yeah, we've been married 5 years and we have a 2-year-old daughter.
And we are expecting baby number 2 in a couple months.
I think the biggest area that we need help with in our finances is in the grocery area.
The last few years have been challenging for us in terms of just getting used to life with little kids and sleep deprivation and all these other things you have to think about. It's been easy for us to just run on autopilot and not put a lot of thought and energy into budgeting and meal planning. And one of the challenges of budgeting for groceries is that I grew up in a single parent household where money, sometimes was tight and we didn't always have a lot in the house.
This is super interesting because she's already letting us know that she grew up with a little bit of trauma. Lower income, not a lot of food in the house. So already we're coming into this situation with some scarcity mindset. So she feels good when there's a lot of food in the house. And honestly, I'm the same way. I am exactly like that. My pantry is ridiculous. My freezers are overflowing all the time. And it doesn't stress me out. It actually makes me feel good. And so when there's a little bit of a hole in a freezer, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have more room to fill it up with stuff. And I think the step in the right direction is realizing where this comes from. It just comes from your experience as a child and not having the food that you wanted or needed. So now that we know that, maybe in the future we can start utilizing what we have more in the house instead of constantly feeding that need to feel comfort through the amount of food that you carry.
After hyping myself up for a few days, I finally did the math to figure out exactly how much we're spending on average on groceries. As a family of 3, 2 adults and a toddler, it's a lot. It's kind of an embarrassing amount, actually. It's $945 a month. It's an astronomical amount of money that we should not be spending on food. I don't know, I just am really struggling with this aspect of our lives.
You got me a little bit right there. First of all, is she not the cutest ever? Yeah, $945 a month for 3 people, I believe is astronomical. It's so huge. I love that she was willing to go through the process of adding that up and seeing where you are. It is really hard to take a deep look at yourself sometimes. But once you have the information, you're like, okay, now I know where we can start. And I'm not gonna recommend they cut to from $945 to $200 in 1 month. I'm not recommending that. It's too crazy. It's too much of a change. You won't stick with it. But I just wanna say to you that you're not a failure. Obviously, you're very emotional here. I'm a little emotional myself just watching you. That realization, the truth when it hits you is hard. But you're taking a step in the right direction. Like you filmed yourself and sent it to me to put on the internet. So in the comments, can we just get a huge round of applause or thumbs up for my girl Siel for being this brave? So they have one daughter, she's pregnant right now. And she deals with extreme sickness and dehydration during her pregnancy. As someone who experienced the same, I just wanna say, if you experience that as well, if you're pregnant, if you're having a hard time, please give yourself some grace here. My grocery budget went out the window when I was pregnant. I was so sick. I felt bad most of the time. I did rely on convenience foods. If I had a craving, I bought it. It was a mess. So if you're feeling like you can't get a handle on it because of health issues, whether it's pregnancy or something else, just give yourself a little bit of a pass because it's really, really hard. I get it. I was there. I was that girl. This is super, super important. As the parents of about to be 2 kids, if you do not have life insurance, now is the time to get it. And fortunately, Fabric by Gerber Life is gonna help you guys out today. Let me tell you about them real quick. Thank you to Fabric by Gerber Life for sponsoring today's video. As a parent, your top priority is your child's well-being. You wanna give them everything that they need to learn and grow, both now and in the future. And with term life insurance by Fabric by Gerber Life, you can help protect your family so their future is secured no matter what happens. Fabric was designed by parents for parents to help you get a high quality, surprisingly affordable term life insurance policy in less than 10 minutes. You could be offered coverage instantly, no health exam required. Fabric has a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can cancel at any time. When you're getting your financial house in order, I am telling you, life insurance, if you have people depending on you, whether it's a spouse, a partner, or children, this is a non-negotiable. If you haven't gotten life insurance, this is my tip for you today. Go out today, go get life insurance. You can protect your family today with Fabric by Gerber Life. Apply today in just 10 minutes at meetfabric.com/frugalfitmom. That's meetfabric.com/frugalfitmom. I'll have all that information down in the description box below. meetfabric.com/frugalfitmom. With Fabric, it's quick and easy to help protect your family so you can get back to enjoying life. Okay, let's go check out Siel's kitchen and grocery shopping.
So this is our kitchen, and I thought maybe we could do a quick pantry tour before we go and buy a bunch of groceries, just so we can see what we already have.
Are you dying? Her kitchen is adorable.
So up here is where we keep things like onions. We have some potatoes. Down here we just have a bunch of random snacks.
I see all kinds of stuff. Cereal, 1, 2, 3 containers of cereal, cream of wheat. It looks like granola. I see breakfast for at least 4 days here. Remember, this is 2 adults and 1 very small toddler. That's it.
A lot of these are pregnancy cravings that I bought and then ate some of and then lost interest in.
Oh my gosh, that's such a real thing. Pregnancy cravings, you buy something thinking it'll taste good and then you lose interest because it actually makes you sick. Oh my gosh, I did that so much.
Down here is our snack cabinet. So we just have a bunch of things that we got at Costco, some bags of chips for my husband's lunches. Our 2-year-old's really obsessed with applesauce.
In this cabinet, I see maybe a culprit of the high grocery bill, and that's snacks. I've said it a ton on my channel, but convenience food / prepackaged, highly processed snack items will destroy your budget. They will. So I'm seeing the Kirkland brand organic applesauce pouches right here. Very expensive. You can get the tubs of applesauce and just dish it out in a bowl. Like her husband is the main provider and she's home with the toddler 85% of the time. It's really easy to put the kid in the high chair with a bowl and a spoon and just let him eat applesauce out of the bin. It's gonna be so much cheaper than this. So much cheaper. I see a huge bag, like a huge bin of Costco chips. Chips will kill your budget. They will.
Oh, dear you. She was my favorite.
They will kill your budget. And while delicious, they don't provide like the vitamins, the nutrients. They don't fill you up. I know I'm hating on the chips. I know that, but it is the truth.
I know, but I want to.
This is where I like to try to stockpile a bunch of canned things. But my brain is telling me that we need a few more cans of tomatoes, some tomato paste. We have some rice and some noodles.
I'm actually okay with the canned section. It looks a little small for me for a girl that likes to stockpile. And there's not very much pasta and rice here at all. Those are shelf stable for an extremely long time. Like rice is like 1 ingredient, right? You can't go wrong with rice. So those are inexpensive items that last for a really long time. I have no problem with picking up a few more of those.
So this is our garage freezer where we keep most of our meat. We don't normally have this much meat in here.
This freezer looks just like mine. Even the frost on it that I should probably defrost my freezer, I have that too. This is my freezer right here. This is my freezer. And I suspect Siel is not meal planning off of what is here because there is easily 3 weeks worth of dinners worth of protein right here.
A couple weeks ago, I went to a sale and I bought like 11 pounds of ribeye steaks for $64. I got like 10 pounds of ground beef for maybe $30.
10 pounds of ground beef for $30 is about $3 a pound. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, nice job on the stockpile. But the key is now that you have it, you have to use it. If you do a stockpile like that where spend $60 on the ribeyes and you spend $30 on the ground beef, but they sit there and you keep spending the same amount week after week, you're not actually saving anything. And now we have food waste. So I would, if it were me, I would 100% recommend meal planning 2 weeks worth of dinners off of this pile.
We have some sausage, we have some chicken breasts, we have a whole bunch of brats from Costco that were on sale like 2 months ago. I tend to just buy things because they're on sale and not really think about what I'm gonna do with them, and then they just sit in our freezer for a long time and get frost covered. So we're on our way to Aldi, and we're gonna get most of our groceries at Aldi, but we decided to stop here first at our local discount grocery store just to see what they have. A lot of times you'll find sales on like produce and clearance bread and meat and stuff like that. So we don't really have a list. We're just gonna go in and see what we can get cheaper here, and then we'll get the rest at Aldi when we're done.
Huge problem with what she just said is we don't have a list. She just said we don't have a list. My friends, if there's one tip I can give you, it is to meal plan and go in with a list. You do that one thing, you will save 30% of your budget, 30%. Okay, here's the receipt. I don't have a ton to say about this receipt. The only things that stand out to me is there are a few convenience foods and expensive packaged foods in the form of the Eggos and the ice pops, which we'll see in the grocery haul in a little bit. But I did notice that the avocados and the bananas are not a great deal. I think you would actually get those at the same price or cheaper at a different store. But we have spent $75 at a quote discount store, and she went in with no list. That means there's no plan. That means we're not gonna be using up the food that's in the freezers. That means you have no idea what you're making for dinner. That means you have no idea what's for lunch. What are snacks? Who knows? Like it's all just up in the air. The meal planning step, I am telling you, takes 10 minutes. Let's continue and see what she picks up at Aldi. And I love that she's going to Aldi because I don't have one, so I'm jealous. But once again, my concern is that they're going in with no list. She's pregnant. She's going in with her husband. That's dangerous. You go by yourself. That's another huge tip for me. And when it comes to like all natural peanut butters and things like that at Aldi, sometimes that's not the best place. Although I'm not upset with this salmon price. That's pretty good. And the receipt time. Can you guys take a look at that receipt? I see a lot of fun goodie items, a lot. Let's check out the haul.
All right, we are back from the grocery store, and I did try to film in the grocery store, but unfortunately that didn't work very well just because it was kind of crowded. There was music playing.
Dude, can we talk about the music in the grocery store? It's like dance party at Costco. Okay, I'm looking at this little clip. I think I got a lot of good stuff. Got some cheese, avocados, bananas, corn, yogurt, fruit, lots of fruit.
Blueberry waffles for $3 a piece.
Oh, there it is. The Eggos, the Luigi's Italian Ice, and this Bob Evans breakfast sandwich. These are the things that blow the budget. Because out of her $75, I probably have 18 of it right here in these 3 things. When it comes to making your own pancakes and waffles, it's the easiest thing. She could have taken that $6 and purchased a few pantry ingredients and made waffles or pancakes, like homemade. They're so much better. The money that you spend into the items make so much more food for the money, and then you don't have the preservatives, you aren't taking up freezer space, and honestly, your kid's gonna like them better, and you can control the ingredients that are in them.
Italian ice, which was not on sale. That was just a pregnancy craving. Breakfast sandwiches for my husband's breakfast, and then a whole bunch of discount bread for our freezer. So I like to buy these and just throw them in the freezer. I don't always know what I'm gonna do with them, but I have a really hard time passing up discount bread.
Same. I can't pass up discount bread. We always eat bread.
We have $1.25 hamburger, hot dog buns, some cinnamon raisin English muffins for $1.25, garlic bread $1.25, and then 2 50-cent baguettes. So then we went to Aldi, and this is where we spent the vast majority of our money today. We spent $286.60. We got all of this. I got a couple kombuchas, some soap, I got 4 of these frozen pizzas because I love these and they don't always have them. So whenever I see them, I grab a bunch. We have some canned goods, some lunch meat, just things that are easy for me to eat whenever I feel like I need to eat something right now and I don't have time to cook. Some popcorn, some this chickpea penne pasta. I like this.
I noticed a lot of things here. The first is that she's combining non-food in with food. So that's not something that I do. I looked over her receipts and I added everything up. There's $60 in non-food items added into this budget. So her full total of $361, but 60 of it was not food. So let's take that out. So she spent $300 on food, even though she had an enormous amount of proteins and the freezers are full already in the house. So let's break this down and see how we can get her to cut the grocery bill from $945 a month. I think you could easily cut $200 a month off, easily. The second thing I noticed is if you add up all the convenience foods and snacks, I'm looking at about $81 just from Aldi. Not even from the other store, just from Aldi. If I take that out, I'm now down to $218 that she spent, and I still think we spent a ton. So let's go over a couple of switches that I would do. So I'm looking at this chickpea penne pasta right here. I've never had this brand. I couldn't say anything about it. Let's see why she bought this.
I like this because it's higher in protein than...
Okay, higher in protein than regular pasta. That's what she's saying, okay? It has 300 calories for one serving and 19 grams of protein. That is significantly higher than like a great value normal pasta at 7 grams of protein. However, the great value pasta of the same size is 98 cents versus the $2.69 of the other pasta. So that means if I had bought the regular pasta, I still have $1.71 left to play with. Can you buy one entire pound of chicken breast for $1.71? Yes. In most places across the country, including where she lives, you can. A normal serving size of chicken breast is 4 ounces, which is 1/4 of a pound, which means you're gonna be spending 42 cents on 4 ounces of chicken breast. The chicken alone is 21 grams of protein for that serving, plus your 7 of the pasta. That means you're going to get 28 grams of protein for a cheaper price just by having regular pasta with a little bit of chicken instead of the chickpea pasta. So you can do some simple swaps. Like if you want the protein, add a lean protein in the form of dairy, meat, eggs, instead of the specialty branded products. They are out to get you on the marketing. The protein pasta, the protein granola.
We got some butter, some cereal, granola bars for my husband, my daughter, things like trash bags, sandwich bags.
She bought cereal. She has cereal. She has like 4 boxes of cereal already. So that's not something, like I wouldn't have bought that this time. And there are 2 half gallons of milk instead of 1 gallon of milk. It's most likely cheaper to buy the 1 gallon.
And then you'll see a few, pregnancy
Cookies!
Related buys, like these sour gummy bears.
Cookies, candy, ice cream.
And then over here, I didn't buy much meat. I just bought some breakfast sausage links. And then I know that salmon is not a budget-friendly food, but I really do try to eat salmon at least once a week because I want both of my kids to get omega-3s. Got some frozen vegetables, frozen fruit, and then more produce. So then once we got to Aldi, we realized the bananas there were cheaper and they were ripe. So we went ahead and grabbed more bananas, and I will we'll either eat those or I'll make banana bread with those.
I did notice all the things of chicken broth, the tubs, they were about $1.30. It is so much cheaper to buy the huge powder thing from Walmart. It's gonna take you months and months and months to go through this. It's an excellent budget substitute as far as chicken broth goes, if you use chicken broth a lot.
All right, so that is everything we bought today, and I'm hoping that this is at least a solid 2 weeks of groceries for our family. We usually do a big multi-store shopping trip like this every other weekend, and then on the weeks in between, if we run out of produce or we run out of milk, I can run back to one of the grocery stores and just grab a few things. So this is how we end up spending so much on groceries that I know that we shouldn't probably be spending. Just the process of laying everything out and having to explain what we bought and why we bought it is definitely helping me to realize that we are probably buying more than we need.
Yes, my overall thoughts after watching everything is I do think you're buying more than you need. We're not meal planning, we're not going in with a list, and you're buying more than you need. I think most of what they bought was probably not necessary for this week because of everything that they had. Siel also sent me a list of questions. I'd love to go over those questions right now, and I also want to offer options as far as grocery shopping, okay? Question number 1, what's a normal grocery budget for a family of their size in their area? So they live in Kansas. It's a low cost of living area. Groceries are inexpensive. Cost of living in general is inexpensive. For a family of 3, I think you could easily be at $400 a month. I mean, I can feed my family of 6 on $400 a month. That being said, I've done this for a long time, so I probably just gravitate towards some skills that maybe you're not there yet, and that's okay. If you're really tight, I think you could go down to $300, especially with the amount of stuff you already have. Question number 2, why are we spending so much on groceries? And she did ask me to level, okay? Level with us. That was her request. Here is me leveling with you. You're not meal planning, you're not going with a list, you're taking your husband, that's a big no-no. You're buying a lot of convenience and snack foods. You buy a lot of organic. If that's a choice you wanna make, you just have to know that your budget's gonna be higher. How can we streamline meal and snack prep so we're not spending money on convenient prepackaged foods? You just have to make time for it when you have the time. So if you have a little bit of time on Sunday and you feel pretty good, that's your day to be like, I'm gonna take 5 minutes and be like, we're having brats tomorrow, we're having soup the next day, we're having tacos the next day, we're having pasta the next day. It's a super quick meal plan. So you have a game plan. Just having the plan makes the difference on what you're doing. Instead of it's 5 o'clock and you're like, I don't know what to do for dinner, so it's cereal it is. Some people really rotate meals a lot. Monday's pasta night, Tuesday's pizza night, Wednesday is burger night. Like, some people really do that. So their meal plan is set and they never change it. Maybe that would work for you. How do we balance our desire to eat healthy foods? So meat, produce, with saving money. I actually think your healthy foods was not the issue. The snacks, the ice cream, the Eggo waffles, the Italian ices. It's not the fresh stuff. How do we avoid impulse purchases? Number 1 is go shopping less. Don't go with your spouse. Have I said that enough in this video? Do not go shopping with your spouse. Make sure you are not hungry when you go. Try and find a time where it's not crowded. Like, the crowds kind of make me very tense when I go shopping. So I really like to go when there's no people there. Another thing that you can do is only take cash. Leave all the cards at home. Say, I want to spend $100 for my groceries this week, and take $100 in cash and nothing else. You'll find that you have no options. The option is the cash in your hand or you're stealing.
Man, that's some bad advice.
So you tend to just put things back. For people that have impulse control, or you're like, oh, it's only $5, it's only $3, taking cash is really, really helpful. And her last question is, how can we use credit cards strategically? Some offer cash back. I think in your situation, right now is not a good time for that. I would not utilize credit cards in your circumstances. I really want to finish this up with store choice. So she shopped at a discount store and at Aldi, which is great. But in her area, they have a ton of stores. They have a Kroger store called Dylan's, and she's
You are making a grave mistake.
Oh my gosh, my heart hurts. And she also says they sometimes grab groceries from Dollar General. No! Dollar General is so much. I am going to pull up her local Dylan's ad. This is what I would buy if I were you. First of all, I would buy no proteins because you have plenty. Number 2, I would buy no breakfast foods unless it was like eggs, because you have enough. You got the clearance bread, you have 4 boxes of cereal and granola and cream of wheat in your house. You don't need any more. I would buy pantry ingredients and learn to make pancakes and waffles. You're buying Eggos anyway. It's gonna be cheaper and better for you guys if you make it yourself. Let's go to the Dylan's ad, shall we? Chicken thighs are 99 cents a pound. I'll skip those, okay? Grapes, $1.29, fabulous price. That's gonna be a big snack this week for the baby. Honeycrisp apples, $1.99 a pound. Don't have a problem with that. Peanut butter and bread are 99 cents, and you can buy 5. This is a digital coupon. So you get on the website, you get on your phone, whatever, you download the coupon. You get 5 loaves of bread, which you can freeze, and 5 tubs of peanut butter. You've spent $10 and you've really stocked up. The blueberries and blackberries are $1.49 each. Spectacular price. The milk is $1.29 per half gallon. I believe that's cheaper than what you paid. Also want to point out, you bought your frozen pizzas at $5 each from Aldi, but guess what? They have the Freshetta for $3.99 at this Dylan's store. I bet that one's better. It's the thin crust garden veggie. That's the one. It's the best frozen pizza. I have some in my freezer right now. because sometimes you need an emergency dinner. And I know you don't need ground beef, but like the ground beef is $2.97 a pound. That's fantastic. Oh, here's the other one I noticed. You bought toothpaste, you paid $4 for your thing of toothpaste. Guess what? 99 cents. You could have bought 4 tubes of toothpaste instead of 1 tube of toothpaste. Like, you need to utilize these ads. You need to. If you have access to a Kroger store, you are throwing money out the window. That's all I see in the ad this week. But if you go in there and just peruse, I'm telling you, you're gonna see clearance deals as well. You're gonna get your clearance bread. You're gonna get all kinds of stuff that you didn't know you had. But I really believe your biggest issue is not meal planning and not going in with a list. And I think if you do those 2 things, anyone that wants to save money on their groceries, that will change your life. Like, it will blow your mind how little food you actually need. And I wanna finish this out by talking about what to do for the spouse's breakfasts and lunches. So her husband right now has a frozen breakfast sandwich for breakfast and a sandwich, chips, a granola bar, and a yogurt for lunch. That's what he has every day.
I probably would have been like him if you hadn't exposed me to a bigger variety of stuff, right?
Say more about that.
So I know that with the house that I grew up in and the way that I used to live, I was probably really stuck in my ways. I know a lot of gentlemen, especially as they get older, they like things the way they like things. But I really, because I have been exposed to so much variety, I love the variety that this world has to offer, especially when it comes to food, okay?
Okay.
Honestly, there is so much more out there than just a breakfast sandwich or a protein shake, right? Like, I like my protein shakes and I like them a lot, but some days I'm like, I need some eggs up in here. And honestly, those prepackaged sandwiches aren't good for you.
I just find those prepackaged things, did you feel hungry like really soon?
Oh yeah.
After?
When you describe them to me, it sounds to me like he's hungry.
Yes, it does sound to me like he's hungry. I saw the video. He's a big dude. He's a big, tall dude.
Oh yeah.
So he's probably very hungry. And I think the sandwich maybe isn't filling him up.
Oh, for sure.
And if he needs the sandwich and granola bar and yogurt and fruit and chips, the dude's not getting enough food. And I think real food would be better than chips.
So you gotta experiment. Like, what is it that he needs? Does he need potatoes? Does he need onions? Does he need eggs? Is it grits? Is it cream of wheat? Like, find something that really works. Maybe it's steak and eggs.
Maybe it's steak. They have steak in their freezer. That would be perfect.
I have probably 10 or 15 different things that I know I really like for breakfast. And now I know that even though I love cold cereal,
Oh my gosh, you never eat cold cereal.
because it doesn't fill me up.
Right, yeah, you're starving in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Cold cereal, that's so funny.
I love cold cereal.
I will say, I have thrown a lot at them in this video.
Have you?
A lot. So if you don't want to fight that battle right now, if you don't want to take away your husband's chips, okay, then that's not an issue for right now. Maybe that's an issue for a year from now. I know how some people would react if I tried to take their chips away.
Listen, she threw a lot at me the first couple years we were married. I know what it feels like. But honestly, when you learn how to swallow your pride, because I did, I realized, man, there was a lot of food out there that I was missing.
Thanks, Dave. I know I threw a lot at Siel today, so everyone give her a round of applause down in the comments. And if you want me to come with you in person and shop with you, but you can email me at swimmerturntriathlete@gmail.com. I'll leave that down in the doobly-doo below. If you want to maybe be in person on a, what do we want to call it? Grocery budget audit. With me. Thanks so much for joining me today, and good luck to Siel and her family. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.